what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Auto Transport Intel. It is Thursday, it is noon Central Time, and that means it's time for Dispatching Live. We're going to search the load boards, we're going to give dispatch advice. We want you to tune in, and what's your route scout? Go ahead and go in the live chat, put in your route scout, put in your trailer capacity. If you're a carrier, a dispatcher, a family member, you're trying to figure out what's the best load, what should I book today? Are you looking for loads right now? Well, I'll tell you what, if you are, do me a favor. Go ahead and leave a like. Thank you so much. And also, you can share this link and help somebody. All you got to do is below the video, click share, click copy, grab that YouTube link, text it, email it, share it on social media, send it to a friend. I know you're looking for loads. I know you're walking around the living room. You're looking at the wall. You're looking at the load board, and you're irritated, and you can't figure out what you need to do. Watch Dispatching Live. We want to help you. Now, if you are you just stuck with some burning business questions, go to autotransportintel.com, click on sign up, become an ATI insider. We'll put you in touch with Ty, get a 20-minute free coaching session. And then maybe, if you're ready, join the roundtable Tuesday night. We've got a super spreader Tuesday night. Ty's going to tell you all about it. He's in the live chat. Go ahead and say hello in the live chat. Ask Ty what is up with the roundtable Tuesday night. How do I get on board? Also, I do want to say hello. Hey, Ty, Cars on the Move, is in the live chat right now. He loves load boards. Golden Child says, good afternoon, all. Hey, Ty. Hey, what's going on, Golden Child? Thanks for tuning in Tuesday night. Really appreciate it. Good to see you in there. Looking forward to seeing you in the roundtable Tuesday night. Sue at Murphy Auto Transport Services is in the live chat as well as watching the load boards. We're going to go to Sue in a minute. Carlos Braxton, ACB Logistics is here. What's up, Carlos? Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for ringing the cowbell Tuesday night. Appreciate it. Christina is here. What's going on, Christina? Thanks for tuning in, saying hello. Really appreciate it. And, we're doing this every week now. ATI, 4 times a week, rinse and repeat. Let's go talk to Sue. Let's see how Sue, how are you doing today?
I am doing great. How about you?
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. Same for me. It's the same old, rinse and repeat. And I tell you, it's got to feel that way for you. I heard you talking to the dispatchers or a driver right? So what, you are busy.
Yes. Right? Yes. So you know how I always talk to you about that I like working with owner operators because they get it usually and it's more about they want to make money and they want to take care of their equipment. So when you deal with the opposite of that, which is a owner who has a driver on the road, it's totally different because they're just there for the paycheck. They don't care about anything. They don't do what they're supposed to do.
Good point, yeah.
And that's what I'm dealing with right now. I have been dealing with it for a while, and I usually do not do this. I don't usually take anybody but owner operators. But originally when I took this company on, it was because one of my drivers was driving for them, and I knew it was going to get done. Well, he went back to his own company, and they hired this other guy who had worked for this company before, but this guy has been just a pain. And I just found out he did a whole bunch of loads again, and it got no signatures at pickup and no signatures at delivery. And one of them was Metrogistics. And of course, we all know they have to have signatures.
It's gonna be a problem.
They don't care if, okay, so just so everyone knows, COVID is okay as long as you get the person's name. But this isn't a COVID thing. This is, I just didn't do my job. So now we've got to go run around, try to find out who accepted the car, write their name on the bill of lading, and then send it back to Metrogistics just to get everybody paid. So it's a lot of extra work that, we shouldn't have to do because the guy didn't want to do his job. You know what I mean?
No doubt about it, because if you try to contact a dealer and then you're like, okay, hey, I got to send you a BOL or can I get it signed, right? That is such a pain.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, man. And to keep in mind,
and they even have. Go ahead.
Well, I was just want to say to anybody that has to do that, the problem is not only is it a pain, right? Oh, boo-hoo, pain. No, I'm not looking for loads for you because I'm chasing down a signature you didn't get.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We're losing money.
Yeah. And On top of it, he uses Super Dispatch. If it was a COVID thing, they have a new thing on Super Dispatch that you send the BOL to the person's phone, they sign it and send it back. Okay. So you don't have to do a touch thing if that's what the issue is. But I'm telling you right now, it's probably not his issue. He's just didn't do what he's supposed to do because he's done this to me several times. Before he wasn't even taking pictures, which is, what's the point of a EBOL system if you're not going to take the pictures so that you don't get blamed for the damage? So I mean, that's the whole purpose of all of this. This is so much easier than it used to be back in the day when you had to have, your copies and triplicates and, all that crap that was, and everything had to be handwritten. And there were no pictures back then. Now this makes this even easier and you can't even still follow what I'm telling you to do. And sometimes you do it, sometimes you don't. It doesn't make any sense.
And we know time is of the essence. We know that too.
Oh, absolutely.
And there's oil squirting out and everything's going crazy. So we do get that. Right, but at the same time, yeah, I mean, even if you have to run around the car just shooting and everything's a blur, and that's at least a start.
Yeah.
Don't do that. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. I mean, it's still taking, half the amount of time probably to do this than it was doing a fill out blank BOL. You know what I mean?
Can you shoot video? Does anybody allow you to shoot video? Because I think AutoSled is working on that. Do you know? No. Right? As opposed to photos.
I don't think Super Dispatch does,
yeah.
But I have had some guys do that. I don't know if you want to do that sometimes because you can't always can you focus in on a video to see if it was really a scratch there that wasn't there and that kind of thing?
I love that question because we're going to get there. I don't think we're there yet. But yeah, the amount of processing power and data storage it's going to take to get to that point. Everyone's got different cameras, which means different video. And I don't even want to go there because it's pretty complicated and we're not there yet. But what I was trying to say, because I try to think of what the driver's going through, right? But at the same time, just know if you don't get that signature, we're not going to charge you $50, but we're going to lose $50 running around trying to get your signature. So
right, absolutely.
There should be a reminder on the app. Please take 4 pictures or your business. And this is the difference between a driver and an owner. Driver's like,
absolutely.
Hey man,
yeah, it is a difference.
Your problem. At least I got it on the trailer. Yeah. I'm out of here. So
yeah,
I think allegedly speculating live. Hey Sue, what's our load board capacity count, please?
Well, actually, I told you earlier it was at, what did I tell you, 64, 65? Now it's gone down even more in just an hour's time.
Really?
We're down to 62, 863. Yeah. Not that that's a bad thing. Anything over 20,000 is good. So we're way above that.
I was just going to say.
And we're moving people with good money. So, I don't see, 62,000 being an issue if it was at 65, but still. So it did go drop 2,000 loads in just an hour's time.
That's the thing, Sue, is that give or take 1,000, we're way above average, but there's still a lot of people still saying the rates are low.
Saying words.
So what? Is there any way out of this trap?
How.
Other than don't watch so many videos where they. Here we go. I think this is $100 bills. Now, based on what I've seen, the views should go crazy right now. I mean, crazy. and this should be the video thumbnail. It's called "Dispatching So Much Money I Can't See You." Huh?
Well, I mean, honestly, we're not having a problem keeping our guys moving and getting paid good rates. And because the rates are so high, if somebody has something listed low, we're negotiating and getting more money out of them. So, I mean, I
don't know because Let's take a look. So let's go look. Let's actually do another sample. I liked how checking some of those routes that normally kind of blow, like Dallas to Atlanta.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or that California.
Did
Sue,
we-
that California search
Yeah.
knocked my socks off. I'd love to see
It's
what that looks
crazy.
like today.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Do you want to start there? Because I don't think we have anybody that wants us to look for anything yet, right?
Let's check the live chat. Guys, thank you so much for putting stuff in the live chat. See, Ty says prices suck. See that, Ty, you're talking about for the dealers, right? The price of buying a vehicle is high. Well, we're talking about carrier rates. Now, if the price of the here's one of the things I'm thinking. If the price of the vehicle is so high, shouldn't the rates be up too? How can there be limited supply, expensive acquisition costs, and rock bottom rates? That doesn't make sense. And actually, I'm not an economics major, but it doesn't make sense to me.
Well, I know dealers tend to. I have some dealers that list stuff that are really cheap, and then you have some dealers that list them the right way.
Right. Well, they do
and
that.
then you can still ask for more money. Yeah.
And that's it. You're always going to have the people that when they list something, they're like, yep, we move it all day. And they could be dying to get it moved. They're sitting in their office sweating they need to get it moved. And yet they're going to stick with, we get it moved all day. Right?
Right. What they thought it should
Why
go
not?
for. I get that a lot, you know. And I always tell them, I'm like, you guys don't see what's going on the board, and don't use the stupid compare button because that ain't telling you nothing either.
Man.
You know, because I should have asked them when I was having the meeting. I wanted to ask them and I forgot. I didn't have it on my list. But what is your reasoning for your comparable? Like, is it over a 30-day pay, or is it over not pay, 30-day? Is it over a week? Is it, I would like to know where they're getting the comparables from. You see what I'm saying?
Ty says, Ty says the comparable is, I paid too much to get the car. I ain't got nothing left for transport.
Well, that's true.
Could be.
That's probably true. So, yeah. I don't get it because I do comparables. I look at it. I usually base it on mileage, and if I know the area, I know what they're paying because I've got guys in that area, and I know what I've got to get for my driver. So, I mean, and also I'm not the typical broker either. I don't take huge broker fees like a lot of them do, but I don't have the overhead for that part of it.
Yeah, you seem very.
So that's why I don't.
Well, because you work with drivers, and so you have some compassion.
Right.
I think it's.
So I want to make sure most of the money goes to the driver.
The Wolf of Wall Street guys have never met a driver. Right?
Right.
Well, if you're spraying champagne in the broker's office, you probably have not met a driver. I could start a comedy act. I think I already have.
True.
Let's go into the live chat. Abdi, Knucklehead27, he says, had a broker tell me that he was going to put me on a do not dispatch list because I asked for a rate increase. That's the Wolf of Wall Street guy. That's right.
Wow.
Okay.
I wonder who that was.
That is awesome.
That's crazy.
Right? Get the list out. That could have been any number of brokers.
True.
Just, unfortunately.
I had the one where we asked for more money and she told us to F off and hung up the phone on it. So.
Well, at least she didn't get on the do not dispatch list.
True. True. We never got that far. She didn't know who I was.
Right. That's the next level. Vistaga says IAA in Boise, Idaho sold 250 and a half, only 8 didn't sell. Wow. Right. That's the kind of numbers Ty is talking about. Ty's talking about a packed auction house. Cars are selling like hotcakes. And I mean, they are, they ain't cheap. Right. So there's no money left for the transporter. Let's see here. Okay. Go ahead. Yeah.
That's what I keep hearing too is like, I've been talking to different brokers and they're just like, there's no drivers. We're having to pay more. And I'm like, well, duh. I mean, there's 60-some thousand loads on the board. You're going to have to pay more to get stuff moved because Nobody's going to take something cheap if there's more stuff on there going higher. You know what I noticed though for the last 3 weeks? Because I've had little short runs on my board, like for my loads, and I'm paying $1 a mile because short runs should pay over $1 a mile, but I can't get them moved. And I think it's because there's so many other loads and they're running longer miles, more money. Like, because that's what I would do, but I don't run short stuff. But just like even I had a load from Greensboro, North Carolina to Atlanta, Georgia. That's a regular run for most drivers, right? And I was paying
Yeah.
like 350
Yeah.
bucks. It was over $1 a mile.
Yeah.
And I could move it for 3 weeks. The guy ended up paying storage of like $600
Wow.
because I think they're not doing the short stuff. They're going out there to make the money. And that's what I would do. Go make money right now. It's high. Do it now because this is not going to stay at 60,000 loads. I mean, that's going to fade out like it happened before.
It will definitely even out. Well, and here's one of the things that could be happening is if there's, because this just made me think of that, is that, who said it? The car dealers around me don't have any new cars, Vistaga says. So maybe if the supply is so limited, even though the car's more expensive, less cars are moving, and therefore there's less demand, higher supply of carriers, and that's why the rates are dropping. But it doesn't match how the load board number keeps rising. That's what keeps throwing me off.
No.
How are there? It's double or triple the amount of vehicles normally. Let's go double, because by now it's springtime.
Oh.
We would probably be at 30,000, wouldn't we? Maybe. Ish.
No, before
Not
COVID
yet.
happened, I think the most I ever saw was like 27,000. So it's still like this is exceptional, and I really haven't figured out why either. I mean, these aren't repo cars we're picking up. That was my theory originally, is that this might be repo cars because everybody bought all their cars when they're getting their $600 unemployment stuff, right? It's not repos. I mean, yeah, don't get me wrong. There's repos on here. I don't usually run them, but they're not. We're picking up from dealerships. We're picking up from auctions. We're picking up from residents. It doesn't make sense. There's a lot on here.
Let me ask you this: dealers, auctions, POV. What do you think is the number one move right now? Because I know things are opening back up. People aren't moving as much as they were, or maybe they're moving because they're like, "Man, I'm gonna get out of here. I've been stuck in the city with a disease." I'm kidding, but like, what's the number one reason for a move right now?
Well, it does happen.
Do you know? Does
anybody I would say because I go to certain.
That's another
areas,
piece of data.
So
I'd like
a lot
to
of
see.
my stuff is going to be auction loads.
Auction loads.
I mean, I hit major places now. If we go to odd places, like we're going to Huntsville on Saturday. We already got them loaded out of Huntsville, and those are picking up from dealerships. So I would think the odd places are going to be dealerships and residents. But like if you go to a major city like Cincinnati or Columbus or Cleveland, well, Cleveland is usually not auctions. They're more like dealerships in Cleveland. Columbus though is Grove City, and usually I pick up a lot of stuff out of Manheim there. Cincinnati has a couple different auctions there. I think you've got two, Odessa and Manheim, and usually I pick up loads there, but it's like half and half, I would say. If I've got a 3-car, I'm usually picking up 2 at a Manheim and then 1 at a dealer. I'm not doing a lot of pickups from residents right now. Those are kind of few and far between, but I'm delivering to a lot of residents, like a lot.
You are delivering to now that's a good piece of data. You're delivering to a lot of residents. And you know what's also interesting about that is there's more and more talk about business models and new companies that are helping with that final mile. Like this company I was just talking about Tuesday night. Social Auto Transport just rebranded to Hop Drive. Now, Hop Drive is a company, they're similar to like Draver, and there are other companies that offer final mile services. But if you've got an over-the-road hauler delivering to the residents, where does the final mile guy get in there? Here's
that's the problem.
Yeah. And what, I want to ask you this: what kind of trailers are doing that final mile? Is it all types? Is it more wedges? What's your?
I bet the final mile is probably a 1-car or 2-car or even a tow truck. You know what I mean?
But I mean,
I think the problem.
Those residence deliveries you're talking about. I'm sorry.
Oh, my guys. Oh,
Yeah.
we're talking 3 cars, 4 cars. That's usually my drivers. I
Okay.
do have a 6 and a 7 that do some of those too as well. Um, the final mile drivers, I think where the problem's going to lie for them, this is my theory anyways, is nobody wants to pay that extra amount of money to take it that last little bit. They're wanting to pay that driver to take it, and that's all there is to it. Um,
I
and I
agree.
I think we're
I
I
agree.
think the final mile drivers are more set up for local. That's the way I say it. I think they're more set up for local, dealing with dealerships that want to deliver to, whoever bought that car to their house, because I know there's 3 cars out there and there's 2 cars out there that do local stuff. I don't agree with it because I don't think $100 is worth your time. But I think if you're buying a high-end car and say you're buying a Maserati in LA and you want to deliver to Beverly Hills, they should be paying appropriately. You know what I mean? Because they want it delivered like that.
Well, that's the thing.
That may happen in LA more than other
Well,
places.
and this is where that gets back into traditionally terminals
Mm-hmm.
were tow yards
Yes.
with flatbeds that would do that final mile. But then there
Right.
was the
That's
gap
reindeer.
in customer service because you've got, you
Mhm.
know, a guy with a junkyard dog, demanding an extra 100 to
Right.
offload the Jag. And so
Yes.
somebody said,
Yeah.
well, we need to improve customer service. That's why I think there's still so
Yeah.
much unknown in here. And yet, the more I see,
Right.
like, cars.com is advertising a lot, the more we
Yeah.
advertise the easy peasiness of this pizza tracker,
Mhm.
where's the money?
Yeah. They're not.
Where's the beef?
That's the problem. Yes, and well, like Ty was saying, they don't want the dealerships don't want to pay for to ship something, and so if you're doing the final mile, they're definitely not going to do that. You know what I mean? That means they're going to pay 2 transporters to do it, but they're not going to do it. Reindeer's the only one that I know for sure that does what we're talking about, and that's for pickup and delivery.
And they have
'Cause all of
found
their
a
clients are
way.
VIP clients.
And they
Yeah.
have found a way to tack on the money. That's the thing. What's
Yes.
Reindeer's secret
Yes.
sauce? How'd they do this?
Well, they're a relocation service, so I think that's part of. They're dealing with people that are moving for businesses, like, I got a job with this company, so the company's setting it up. So that's what they claim. I don't know if that's always the case, because a lot of times it's because it's a husband and wife and they're moving or something like that. But we don't know the background of any of this stuff either. We're just kind of guessing here. But,
Well, I tell you what, you
but
just
that's what they
point,
claim.
and you just point something out. As corporations, the
Mhm.
corporate lifestyle going
don't
into the
care.
offices, that takes a tumble.
Yep.
With people
Right.
working more remotely, that's taken a bite
Right.
out of the money of corporate relocation. That'd be my guess.
True.
And companies like
Yeah, because they don't have
Relotrans, yeah, because now the companies like
Yeah.
AT&T's like, oh my god, we're going to save $1 million a year in auto transport. That sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
Sure, you can work at home.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah. True. True. Maybe that's why I haven't seen as many reindeer loads on here.
Oh, wow. Yeah, and I love that company.
Well, true.
I mean, I love the way they pay, but it's interesting.
Oh, I do. I have no problems with them.
Right? Well, and Ty, this is where Ty said it. Ty said it very well. What doesn't make sense is sales are up and the perfect storm is upon us. The perfect storm is that's Paul Machine at Black Book. He comes on Tuesday nights and just scares the heck out of everybody with his data. But that's how we can kind of peer into the future of what's happening, where we were, what's going on. And like, yeah, the whole automotive world is it's gone crazy. Sales are still up,
Yes.
maybe because of
Yes.
Here's what I don't understand. If we went months with unpaid bills, how does a check from the government fix all your problems overnight? Really?
Really.
And then you're buying
Are
cars
we
and
talking about
houses
the
and
1400
boats?
and 600?
Yeah, I don't get it. How are
Yeah.
people buying boats because
I
they
don't
got a
either.
stimulus check? It makes no
You got
sense to me
me.
at all.
No,
Recreational
me neither. That'd be the
vehicles
last
are
thing I'd go out and buy.
recreational vehicles are skyrocketing. Did anybody here go out and buy another ATV because they got a check?
No.
No.
I mean, most people, you
I mean,
know,
maybe.
or me, I would stick it
And
in the
if they
bank
did, they
for
ain't saying
low times.
nothing.
You know what I mean?
Nobody's gonna jump in the
Right.
live chat and go, "I just bought 4 ATVs and a yacht, Jay." So there. Nobody's gonna do. Okay, fine. Tax
Well, yeah, they
refund
got
too.
their
All right.
eyes right. They got their
Stimulus
tax
check,
refund
tax.
too,
But
but
you
still,
just starved for a year.
right, right,
Are you
exactly.
living in the
How do
ATV?
you do that?
I don't get it. I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't
Right now,
either.
some guy's sitting on
It's
his four-wheeler brushing his teeth. That's right. Okay.
yeah,
I don't get it. I bought it. Oh, Vistaga says I bought a 21 Chevy Blazer last week. They offered to deliver it for me. So I asked. They said their salesman drive it to your house. That's another one I keep hearing.
wow,
Okay,
so
if salesmen are
yeah,
driving
me too.
cars, well, they're not selling cars. That's like a dispatcher chasing down a signature and not looking for loads.
True,
Yeah, it's probably not even close,
true.
but
Why not just have somebody? Yeah, because salesmen get paid commission, right? So their time of driving that car to somebody, they're not getting paid anything.
maybe this is why there's less car
Or
haulers. Shurzad, Rockamov, what's up, Shurzad? Many car haulers, as I know, now they are doing Amazon. They say its pay went crazy down. We do know several auto transporters. We're going to talk to one Tuesday night. Is now in freight.
yes, I have one that went to hauling for Amazon too, out of Maryland and Virginia. Um, they've got a crazy board. I don't know if anybody's been on there, but it is kind of
I
wild because they'll list a load,
I'm
but he
sorry.
just picks up trailers.
Okay, yeah,
Okay,
there you go.
he has a big rig.
Specialty.
He picks up trailers.
Specialty,
Yes, he
yes.
picks up trailers. He drops off the trailer. He picks up another trailer. They may be empty or they may be full, but he's done routes where it's 11 stops, and you're just, stop it, transfer another trailer to your truck, and then go in there. But I do know that Amazon is very, very particular about your times. You have to be on time
That's the thing.
for pickups and deliveries. Otherwise, you get little dings against you, and you don't get the good loads anymore.
I cannot imagine anybody's buying extra recreational vehicles by driving an Amazon van. We have heard stories
No.
that people have lived in tents outside the warehouse, so when they're not working, they're living in their tent. Amazon has figured out. Hey, those are real stories. I've read that.
Wow.
I didn't make that up.
Yeah.
That is real stories. Those are, Google it, find it. So the point is that Amazon is all about shaving. The reason they make money is their volume is insane, right? Because you buy anything online now, it's probably on Amazon. Razor thin margins. So if you're driving a van and you're one of, how many van drivers do they have now? It's in the tens of thousands. It's got to be. It's got to be.
Yes. Yeah.
Because I've seen multiple vans in my neighborhood at the same time.
Yeah.
Which is a really weird
down
feeling.
and here is
coming
from UPS and FedEx.
You know what? And as we don't like to talk about autonomous, anyways. Autonomous. What about drone delivery? Now, luckily, you can't deliver a car by drone. Yes.
Oh. Are they really doing drones in cities?
That's a joke, right?
Real?
Like they're
no.
No, I know.
I know they were going to, but I don't know if they've really ever did it. You know what I mean?
No, they're going. I mean, sometimes I think about this. You know how it's hard to look at today and think about the future and think about, oh wow, we can always look back and go, wow, the 1950s, that was amazing. Well, what is going to happen is we're going to, in 2031, we're going to look back and go, wow, I remember when you could look in the sky and there was no drones. It's a freaky thing, but that's going to happen. In 10 years, I don't know if you're going to be able to look in the sky without seeing at least one drone. It's like I can't look in the neighborhood without seeing at least one Amazon van. All right. That was
and I know that Amazon now is doing grocery delivery as well. The bigger cities, you order your groceries, they deliver them to you within an hour.
Groceries. Wait until people think life is normal with flying groceries, and you tell them they're going to have to wait a couple days to get their car. Well,
you're right.
Isn't it flying groceries? It's awesome, man. It's off the hook. Also, Christina said, and Chris Chamberlain said his wife still hasn't received her stimulus check. Yeah, exactly. Not everybody's got them. Vistaga,
No, I haven't gotten mine.
right? Yeah, and I had to wait for mine. I did get mine, but I had to wait. Let's see here. Vistago. Where I live, very few people lost their income, but most saved their money fearing the worst. Now they feel the skies are clearing and have extra money from their checks. See, that's the thing, and that's another thing. And that's awesome. True. I'm glad to hear that. Yeah, but most of America didn't have extra money before.
Well, right. That's true.
If we were already saying, if you're living 2 weeks behind paycheck to paycheck, we were saying that in 2019. So then COVID hits. Right. Now you're months behind paycheck to paycheck. I'm not trying to derail this. I just don't understand. I'm jealous of everybody that has a bunch of money and already had it and still has it and has ATVs and boats. Payment protection plan. A lot of people set themselves up as small businesses, were able to get a PPP loan. That's a really good point, Christina. That is a really good point.
Now, here's the thing about that.
Yeah.
If you were not already in business and established, though, you may not have gotten that loan from the SBA. Is that what you're talking about, Christina? Are you talking about the SBA loans that they were doing? Because that was the payment protection where if you had employees. So on that part of it, I don't know if everybody realizes this, but they only gave $1,000 per employee, which ain't much if you only got 2 or 3 people. And you didn't have to pay those back. The SBA loan for the disaster assistance was totally different, where they would give out thousands of dollars. But what I've talked to several different people is, if you had not been established and had your business going for a certain amount of time, you were not going to get the money. And I've still got people trying to get the money right now and are not hearing back from them. But I know they're overwhelmed with it too. I just got an email today asking me if I wanted more money.
Yeah, I got enough
to sign up.
I got the same thing.
Did you get one too?
And I'm like, listen, that ship has sailed, and for the most part. But I did get that. It's funny you say that. I thought it seemed odd to me. Did it strike you as odd? Like,
no, because I'd gotten something like a month or so ago saying they were going to do it, and I mean, I'm a conservative, so I've been hanging on to my money, trying to outlast whatever's happening here. So I really don't want to take more out if I don't need it.
Exactly.
Because there's also a lot of people out there that do need it.
Well,
you know what I mean?
And when you take on another loan, right, then that's another debt you're taking on. And I know we're living in a world where we can't even keep track of our debts anymore. But as individuals, right, as a country, how do we even keep track of the debt anymore? There's no way.
I mean, really, there's no way.
There's no way. The speedometer has busted off and rolled down the road. There's no way to keep track anymore.
Yes.
But as individuals, we still need to keep track. All right, I think I'm way off track. Speaking of JD, do you guys think... JD says, do you guys think there is an overcapacity of trucks? Awesome question.
No.
There can't. No. I agree. There is not an overcapacity. That's another reason. How are the rates low? I don't get it.
They're not.
They're not.
And the only reason why I think there can't be an overcapacity is because there's 65,000 loads on the board. If we had an overcapacity, we wouldn't see these numbers. And I know a lot of people went out of business. I don't know how many. I don't know if there's an average online that tells you how many truck drivers went out of business, but there are a lot that went out of business. Now, I do know there's a lot probably trying to come in now too, because I've been getting emails quite a bit saying, hey, I'm ready to start working now. Do I have a spot? That kind of thing, which, by the way, I do have 2 spots. So if anybody is interested,
Murphy Auto Transport
I do have a couple
has 2 spots.
Yeah.
Are you able to expound on any, generalized reason why you have a spot? I mean, did the company go out of business or?
No, I have extra. I've hired more
you're expanding.
Dispatchers.
Oh, awesome.
Yes, I'm expanding. That. So, yes. So I have got a couple of dispatchers that need drivers. So, that's why I've got spots. I haven't
Well,
had anybody quit. Actually, okay, I'll tell you a story. Here's a funny
yeah,
one.
yeah.
I did have a driver quit. They went to work for a really big broker as a transporter. I can't say who it is, but it's one of the biggest ones out there that hires drivers. And we knew it was a mistake, but we don't have, but it's not our money. It's not our, and he's worked for us for probably 5 years. He went out and bought a big rig with a 910 car hauler. Guess who called us up asking us to take him back 3 weeks later? Because the broker that they went to work for is not giving them the loads that they promised them. Does that
Oh,
ring a bell?
ooh, that's tough. That is tough. So,
Yeah,
so there
yeah.
was a promise made. I mean,
Well, you know how they do what they do out there. Oh, we're going
yeah,
to make thousands of dollars a week. You're hauling just for us. We're going to give you the best loads and blah, 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 blah.
we're gonna
And
keep you
I've had
busy.
people go to work for this company before, and
Mm.
it was not what they said it was either. But we told him, but you're going to do what you want to do. And that's how it is. And now he's stuck trying to finish him out, get out of the contract because I think he signed a contract with him. And then he's going to come back and we're going to haul cars again for us. But now he's in a 910 instead of he was in a 5 before. So, and you know how much I love 910 car haulers. Anyways, we're gonna take him back, but he was very disappointed to say the very least. I'm
Yeah.
just being nice as
Well,
to what he really
here
said.
and here's
So,
the thing.
you know.
So we do know that because this is where it gets really complicated and gangly. Is that
Mhm.
if you're hauling? Because I'm gonna go on a limb and say when he bought that truck and trailer, he thought he'd be hauling new vehicles.
I think so. And
Okay,
he would
thank
be
you.
fully loaded
Exactly.
completely every time
Ah,
and
and
getting excellent rates.
and what do we know about new vehicle capacity right now?
Yeah, we know it's
Okay,
down.
it's down. All right. So,
Yeah.
did the broker lie? Well, we can't weigh in on them. We don't know what happened, but we do know there are
Mhm.
market factors. So if you're going to, this is
Yeah.
actually great because it proves the whole point of auto transport intel. If you're paying attention to what's
Yeah.
happening in the market, you stand a better chance of seeing the truth of what's coming next. It's no secret. It's not like
Oh,
it didn't just hit the newspapers that new vehicle production is down. That's not a secret. And if it is a secret, you don't read enough news or watch enough knowledgeable YouTube videos. See, here's the thing. If you look for these videos, okay, right, where you the get rich, you are not going to get you're going to get this. You're not going to get information. All right, you may get information. Jay, don't get in the mud on this thing. But my point
wow.
is, I feel bad for that driver because he didn't need to make that mistake, he or she. Because the information is out there that thinking that that was going to be sustainable today, new vehicle production will be back. In
Yeah.
fact,
Oh,
if you
yeah.
look at who are the companies that are staying on churn and burn, Tesla is not backing down. If you're going to go work for an OEM right now, go work for Tesla. I can't believe I just said that. But anyways, that's my information take is that however, there are still companies, right, that are saying they'll say whatever they need to say to get what they need to get, but they may have thought
Yeah.
I know some mid-size fleets, some medium asset carriers, they actually have equipment
Yes.
and they are wheeling and dealing with OEMs on contracts and bids. But that's the scary part is that if they tell the OEM, yes, we can get it all delivered, and then the OEM says, great, you're our company, and then suddenly the OEM goes, oh my God, we got a chip shortage. Did they lie? Or is it a market factor? It's very complicated. But at least if you watch the tea
Well,
leaves,
it's true.
Jay. Okay. Man. Get
Well,
your
I mean, and
Ty
I
says
don't
get your own
know if your
customers. Yeah.
contract states, and I don't know if their contract states that, they guarantee them. I doubt it does because they'd have a lot of people suing them. You know what I mean? Don't you figure? It probably doesn't state like we're gonna give you X amount of money every week. I mean, I don't know anybody who would do that. So
Well,
they
yeah,
probably
no,
told them they're gonna get X amount of mile per mile. Would that's what I would think it's probably more like.
great stuff happening in the live chat. By the way, I just want to thank everybody. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to Dispatching Live today. We are searching for loads. We actually will do that. We will search for loads. But this market factor stuff is so interesting. I know Sue's got a couple more stories, but before we get to anything else, I just want to go in the live chat. I wanted to thank everybody. John asked, what do dispatchers charge? That's a good question. It's a percentage in a nutshell.
I charge, yeah. I mean, I charge 9%, and we do everything for that. We get all the loads. We set you up with brokers. We verify the loads. We put them in pickup and delivery order, and then we also bill them out. We have an accounting team that calls on them to make sure that paperwork is received and what day it's going to go out. And then we still, if like you don't get paid or something like that, we're still harassing them. And if it goes so far as to where we have to get a hold of the broker bond, we also do that as well. Now, I want to say that they probably average anywhere between 7 and 10% is probably what the average is for a dispatcher. So, and I know some people don't do, well, this is what I think is funny. Since we've been doing this show, I've noticed a lot of the dispatch companies, because they actually send me emails to my drivers to ask them to sign up as for dispatchers. So what I've found out is they do everything that I'm doing now. And they even say it almost exactly the same way that I say it about verifications and stuff like that. But I do know there's a lot of them out there that do not verify. They just give you the load, let you figure it out for yourself. They don't do accounting. That's also one of the things that they don't do for certain dispatch companies. So, I mean, there's a lot of them out there now, ever since, I don't know if it's the show or they've realized, that there's a niche out there for people like me. But when I used to do it, when I started way back 16, 17 years ago, there was not really anybody out there, and nobody even knew that there was such a thing as a dispatcher. It's changed a lot in the last several years. So you want to pick somebody, first off, that you mesh with, and two, that you trust. And if they guarantee you something, you don't do that, because you can't guarantee anything in this life. I'm sorry. And you don't know what's going to happen in the transport world. Things can be like right now, we got 62,000 loads on the board. I never tell anybody I'm going to make you X amount of money a week. I'm going to do the best to make as much money as possible, because the more money you make, the more money I make. So obviously my goal is to make the transporter as much money. But I've had other people that came from other dispatch companies that were not happy. They were, I don't want to say it like this, but they were taking their money. And that's not what a dispatcher does. Just so you know, every bit of money, if any dispatch company tells you that they get your money and send it to you, don't do it. That's a big no-no. We don't touch anybody's money. It all goes to the driver, either via in the mail, ACH, ComCheck, Cash App, something like that. That's how you should be getting paid. If they're saying something different, then you need to walk away quickly. Or if they say, like, this is one of our issues that we were talking about dispatchers, if they say they've got the loads and they're going to give them to you, that's not the way this works either. We represent you as your company on Central, on any board, anywhere. We are still, when we call up, we're saying this is, Heavenbound Transportation. We're not saying a totally different company name to get that load. And I know there's some shady companies out there, so you got to watch out for that kind of stuff. We talk about it quite a bit, and I know he's come across some too as well. But just keep that in mind when you're looking for a dispatch company. There's certain things and criteria that you're going to want to look at. And yes, there are some companies that will guarantee, like a 3-car. I saw one the other day. I got it in an email, and it said a 3-car was going to make $7,000 a week. Okay. Yes, my drivers sometimes make that, but that's not the norm. A 3-car should usually make anywhere between 4,500 and 5,500, that kind of thing. And that's if they're established. If you're brand, yeah, there you go, money. If you have a 3-car and you're brand new, it's not going to start out like that. I mean,
what? Wait a minute, wait a minute. But I watched the video.
Jay's got the $1,000.
Well, what happened to this?
Yes.
Where's this at?
Oh,
What happens? And what
you
happens
gotta
when you
kind
don't
of
get
be
this? Oh,
established.
I don't know. We're on to the next video. I don't know.
Exactly. And then they meet people at truck stops. Like we had a company come to us like 2 months ago, and we've been working with them. They're brand spanking new. We're making over $5,000 a week. They're not signed up with anybody, just so everybody knows. And she is still saying that's not enough money. She was told she would make 10 grand a week. I said, I don't know who you talked to, but whoever it was lied to you. A three car is not going to make 10 grand a week. It's just not possible. Um, even with these good loads. Okay, that's not happening. I think the most I've made a three car is like 8 grand, and that was last year during COVID. Um, and I made one. What did I tell you? 7,600 last week. That's
Let's
that's
see
just
here.
not normal.
Yeah, no, oh yeah,
So
exactly. Yeah. Well, that's why I told
yeah,
you. I'm gonna pull the money up again. This really is fun. Now I understand the allure of making videos where you do this because this is fun. This is amazing. I feel, I'm feeling
it's like
amazing.
when I talk about
I'm feeling amazing.
when I talk about my four car making like
This is
over 10
ridiculous.
grand. That's because he can haul anything, just so everybody knows. It's not like a normal four car that's two on top, two on bottom. He is a flatbed with two going up in the air, and I can take three 2500s and a car. So it's not your normal, setup. So that's why he can make that kind of money. And it's only happening during these times when we have 60,000 loads on the board. Normally his average is anywhere between 6,500 to 8,000. So
Oh, hey, did I lose you? Check, check. Did we lose Sue? She was just talking. I was trying to get the the Larry answers in order, because I want to do the game show stuff. Let's go back into the live chat. Sue will come back. We'll get her. She either hit mute or got a phone call. Um, that was John. John was asking about, all right, what is a rate for what do the dispatchers charge? Okay. Knucklehead says there are drivers all leaving, all sizes. Ty talks about get your own customers, build a lane, stop chasing money. Abdi, it's okay, Jay. We got to stay professional. It's all political. I read that because here's the deal. And I'm seeing something. And okay, yeah, she'll be back. She lost internet. I'm seeing something and I'm reminded of something. And that is that we have a tendency to see things that agree with the way we view things, right? And Abdi, it is very, very possible. In fact, I'm going to go with likely that it's actually a different company. Now, you could be right. And if you are right, then it does need to be talked about as well. That company needs to know. There's already been at least one negative YouTube comment, and I told that company about it, and they responded. I also want to say that, when I was talking about there's a new organization, and somebody said, well, we've already got an organization. Yeah, reminder, there actually are several organizations, not just that one organization you prefer. So I don't know if we're about to go through a little, some growing pains as an industry about the stuff that we believe. It's kind of like the Stinger versus Wedgie thing. Like, that's so silly. And you can get hung up on that if you want to, man. Have at it. But I'm telling you, if you're hung up on Stinger versus Wedgie, you are definitely not paying attention to all the market factors. I'm even seeing some political statements on some of the social media threads. They are just not true. And I'm talking they relate to kind of industry and what's happening. People believe what they want to believe. And I'm not here to convince people otherwise, but I'm pointing it out. And we're going to talk about it. That's one of the things on Auto Transport Intel. I'm not right about everything. Tim corrected me about something the other night in the second panel on Auto Transport Intel. Live on my show. The guy corrected me. And I thank him for it. What else?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now. You're back. What's going on? Do me a favor, share your screen.
Okay, cool.
All right, cool.
I lost internet.
Oh, yeah, no, I knew you did. Let's see here. Yeah, Jay has a lot of super chat there.
Right.
Confirmation bias, Ty points out. I can't hear you. Yeah, we're back. Okay, cool. No, and it really is amazing.
Okay.
Thank you, Christina. Thank you so much. And I really do. I appreciate the views and the chats, etc. And I go through the same thought processes that everybody goes through. Like, is what I'm doing working? You know, do I need to tweak it? We're all going through that, and things are changing so fast. But if we are just stuck on same old, that's the way Granddaddy did it, man, we are going to make mistakes. New drivers don't understand what's been going on with the trucking industry for centuries. True. And that's why, isn't it nice to have a channel that actually is looking into the future and speaking truth? Okay, that was a little, man, that was way over the top. Okay. Should we search for loads?
Yes, let's go search for a load.
Okay.
Did anybody give us anything? If not, I will pull it up.
Yeah.
I don't know. You know what I think is funny is like what you said last week was the loads have to be good, otherwise we'd be being asked what to look for.
I know,
so,
right?
Let's
Not one route
gold bar stuff again.
It's actually great. It's actually kind of great. It's kind of great.
Let's look out of LA.
Okay.
That's what we were talking about last week. Yeah. Let's look out of LA. All right.
Ooh, and Knucklehead. Yeah, Abdi's up next. Washington to Florida. That's a good search.
Oh, okay.
That's a good search.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah, that is cool. Thanks, Abdi.
Let's put in what? 60 cents a mile? 70 cents a mile? Let's do 60.
Sure. Wow. California search 60-cent minimum? That is dangerous. That's like a Kenny Loggins song.
Oh, crap. Wait. All right. No, let's put a minimum amount of money because it's going to give me all those little crappy loads, too.
Okay.
Let's put in $400. Let's see what we got.
Slow down.
Otherwise, we're going to get $75
a little less Mountain Dew.
To LA. Okay. Wow. Okay, so I put a minimum of $400 on here, and I put a minimum of 60 cents a mile, and we still have 1,136 loads.
That is incredible. Look at this. That is incredible. Wow.
These loads like this, that doesn't happen.
No, that does not happen.
$1.20 a mile from Anaheim to Scottsdale? No way.
Wow. This is awesome.
Here's a 2-pack. Wow, wholesale has 2 of them. If anybody signed up with wholesale,
wow,
and you're in California, do these.
Wow.
I'm just blown away.
This is amazing. This is okay. This never happens, man. Never. I've never seen this.
This is
booking out of Los Angeles is
These are
painful.
all $1 a mile we're looking at right now.
This is great. Okay, now the McLaren coupe.
Yes.
No.
That's kind of crazy.
Yeah, that's not right. and you can only deliver it Saturday. And the pizza's got to be hot.
And I would probably request that be enclosed and not open, but that's just me.
Hey, there's Silverman. Ding, ding, mix.
All right, so here's a... Yeah, nobody can take these either. I don't even know why they got them listed like that.
Well, wow. What do you mean nobody can take it? Just list it. Forget about it.
Oh, well, it does say will split. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Well, that's good at least.
I stand corrected.
But look, like LA to Colorado Springs for $750. Those are usually like what, $300-400 a car. Oh, look, here's the one going all the way to Denver for $850, but delivery on Saturday only.
I realize that people work, but when people want their vehicles, did anybody ask the delivery person if they'd be a little more flexible? I don't know.
Yeah.
Have it your way, you know. You want double tomatoes and Saturday only? Sure.
Let's see. There's I mean, this is kind of crazy on here. Like there's from Burbank to Chicago for 1,400. Those, well, wait a second. It's really picking up in Taft, California, wherever the hell that is at.
Oh, actual
probably
pickup,
nowhere
actual delivery.
Burbank.
Oh, and it's our
But either
favorite.
way,
We got one.
yes.
Okay, so wait a minute. We got a red card. We got a flag on the play. I love it. Thank you so much for playing.
Oh, look, here's another one, but this isn't them, but they do this kind of stuff too. It's in Blythe, California instead of LA.
And this is why I speak
Also
out
don't know
against
where
it,
that's
because
at.
other companies are seeing it and they're like, ooh, that's genius.
Yeah.
We'll just list whatever.
Yeah. True.
It is true.
All right, let's see what else we got
The
here.
truth is painful.
I'm just amazed that these loads are paying this well. I mean, honestly, they never, I mean, this is kind of crazy. Look, I got something coming to Springfield where I live. What else we got here? The fact that these are over 60 cents a mile is blowing my mind, because you know as well as I do, usually LA to like Atlanta pays like $700, $800.
And Abdi says California is always hot. Here, I'm going to say this, Abdi. Here's the thing, and this might be what's happening. Right, it's hot, yeah. But see, Abdi, I think you're always searching for loads, which means you're in a category unlike the average driver or owner, because you're always. I know you are. I know it. Abdi has probably taught the whole family, because he's got the family in the truck and they drive. He's probably taught everybody. He probably teaches people at truck stops how to do it. I'm sure he does. Truck stop mentor.
Yeah, I mean,
Abdi, truck stop mentor. I know I'm close.
True. He also said unless a lot of drivers figure it out and then it goes back down. Yeah, that's what happens, unfortunately.
Yeah, but you are never. Here's the way it works. At the top, stinking wedgies. That'll be the narrative. Then you have rates always suck. Then you have, I don't know. You have to really dig down to find the layer of folks that are really tuned in. That was kind of mean.
Yeah, but usually, like,
what makes
either
you
way,
an authority on
I mean,
this?
we look at this going cross country. We're talking 2,400 miles and stuff. For them to be paying this kind of rates, that you don't see that.
And they're doing it because they're forced to. Are they doing it because they
yes.
Right, because they're being forced. They're being forced. Everybody get out your tiny violins.
Yep. Because nothing's moving if you don't pay. I mean, honestly, I had a car in Arizona going to Massachusetts. I had to pay $2,000 to get it moved. Does that tell you anything? And it's only 1,800 miles. So
that's why, Abdi, that's why with this belief that all the drivers are going to hook arms and sing Kumbaya until the rates go up, that is so silly. Silly.
Let's see. Well, I mean, usually you don't see these rates from California to Houston for $1,000. They're more like $5. That's the average is $5 usually.
I can't even believe you're still looking at green new loads. Normally, what?
I know.
There'd be like 3. Going. You're still going. This is amazing.
I'm still going.
This is what auto transport should look like all the time. Right?
Yes.
Yes.
I agree.
Yes.
Just doesn't happen. Wow. Look at that. Huh. Those are kind of big, though.
Treasure Island Transportation.
Wow,
I kind of like that name. I never heard of that one.
I think they are a transporter. Let's go look. Because I swear they called for me.
I've never seen that name. But I don't search the load boards
anymore. Nope, they're a broker.
They're a broker. Yeah. Cool.
They're a broker. They've actually been in business since 2017, believe it or not.
Robert Tulloch, what I have found is that if load is paying well from one location, loads going there are paying a lot less. Snowbird season is a good example. Yes, and that's why. That's true, good, Robert. Thank you.
True, Robert.
That's why you have to know.
However.
Yes, however.
It's different right now.
Right.
I mean, okay, has anybody looked at Florida? Florida is crazy right now. I have vehicles in Florida right now. I'm having to pay outrageous money to get them out of there, and they're still not moving. I had to move a truck from Ocala, Florida. It was an F-150 from Ocala, Florida to Greensboro, North Carolina. I had to pay $600 to get it out of there. That's usually a $450 vehicle. And that's high. Usually they try to undercut that even.
Yeah, I mean,
We need to look at Florida next.
look at
Yeah.
these sedans going from
Yeah.
LA to Seattle. Yeah, you know, I've
Yeah.
never booked to Seattle from LA and seen that kind of money. They posted at
No.
35 cents a
Six.
mile. This is
Look at this.
wild.
825 for that Porsche
This
Cayenne.
is wild. And
Are you down
what
there
you
right
just said
now?
about Florida, didn't we just have somebody in the live chat the other day saying Florida still sucks? I'm pretty sure.
It did, but remember we were looking at it and I said, look at these rates. And I know they got to be higher now, or there's just so many loads in Florida that they can take their pick. And it's not snowbird season, guys. It's nothing.
Yeah.
So
it's not a season. Well,
I mean,
it's almost
no.
springtime, which is usually opens the market up a little bit. What we're
Yes,
seeing is
it does.
we're seeing like COVID supply, whatever, plus
so.
chip shortage, plus tax season, plus I guess
whatever the hell
and
is going on.
and then whatever percentage of companies the industry lost. Right? There's your perfect storm. Ty, are you taking notes? Because we got to do a show on this. We got to actually we got to talk about this on the roundtable Tuesday night. Join us.
All right, so he wants to look at Washington to Florida. I'm just going to put up Washington. Let's look her up, and then we need to look at Florida after we do that and see what's going on with them. All right, Washington to Florida. I'm not going to put anything. Let's see what it is. If 1,100 loads come up, I'm going to freak out. Okay, this makes more sense. Okay, 76 loads. All right. So, look, here's prime example of crappy loads right there. 39 cents a mile to Jacksonville. And it's probably going to the port. And it's an up. Now, I don't know where this is because I'm not really familiar with Washington. But I mean, I know Seattle, that kind of thing. But if you look at this stuff, this may be someplace because I don't know where Ellensburg is. Well, I mean, that looks like a good load, but whether it is or not, I don't know.
Well, that's the problem. And this is we always see this, is that when you go thousands of miles, they think they can get a volume discount. Meanwhile,
they think
it's the Rocky freaking Mountains.
Right. And your gas mileage sucks. If it's wintertime, you may get stuck for 2 or 3 days. I mean, yeah.
No.
So it looked like they've got a bunch of stuff from Seattle area going into Jacksonville, Orlando. They're not, I mean, they're 39 cents a mile. I'm really surprised about this one right here. And of course, it's AM2 freight, so that's probably a good load. 1550 for a Volkswagen Vanagon. I don't know if everybody realizes that's an itty bitty tiny van.
That's the thing is, that's actually probably not a bad load.
No, that's probably not.
It's probably not. And that BMW, same thing. Look at that.
Yeah.
Pick up in Spokane.
Well, Panama City is going.
No. It's actually in Kalispell.
Picking in Montana.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Yep.
Not actual pickup, actual delivery. Come on. I'll give you a yellow and a red.
All right, and then we're back down to 38 cents a mile for a 3-pack of 2 older cars. You got a Ford Galaxy and a Chevy Monte Carlo.
I'm gonna double check my homework. I'm gonna check Spokane to Kalispell. I want to know. Inquiring minds want to inquire.
I'm gonna guess and say anywhere between 100 and 200 miles away.
I mean, that might be great and all.
33.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
It is 230 miles. And there's a good reason I did what I did. You're number one, it's in a different state, and you're in the Rocky Mountain area. That could take, it says 4 hours by interstate.
Yeah,
but it's way off route.
Yeah.
I guarantee. Okay.
Yeah.
Getting a little?
No.
Okay.
Yeah. I guess if you were already there, it wouldn't be a problem. But if you're not, then yeah. Let's see. So most of these going to Florida look like. I'm really surprised they're at 49 and 54 on some of these, to be honest with you.
It's still okay. So
usually,
we're 2 for 2 on searches, and we're impressed. right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you still have the same crap on here. You still got 30 centers
Sure.
on here.
Yeah,
Look, I
sure.
mean, I guarantee you
Well,
this stuff is still not moving. That's why it's
Hey,
still on there.
hey, come on. This is auto transport, man. Shoot. We do this all day. My
Oh my
granddaddy
God.
did
Okay,
it.
here's
My daddy did it. And I'm going to do it. And that's the way it is. That's the way we do it all day
look
here
at
at
this one, Jay.
Fat Stacks LLC.
Okay, so they've got it listed, but it's really going to Panama City, which is nowhere near Orlando, by the way. And I think Bremerton is way up north, isn't it? For some reason, I thought it was up north.
So basically, this could be anything. We've got
Yes.
we not only have a mix, but we got a whatever.
Yes. Let's see. So I think you've got your 30 centers, and there's a few in here that are 50s. So, but the problem that I'm seeing is if you're a big car hauler, which is probably what this would be to go cross country, because otherwise it doesn't really pay enough. There's not a lot of like cars. You're going to have cars to mix with some of this big stuff. And they're going everywhere. If you look at some going to Miami.
And that's a dispatching pro tip. Do not book the big stuff first without thinking about how you're going to find those little smart car holes on the trailer, because you can't leave empty spots unless you're making plenty of money. And even if you can make double the money on the big spot, if you leave an empty spot, the driver's still thinking, we can fit something there. Look for a forklift or a tricycle. Look for a tricycle.
Look at this. This guy got a 2,500 and a travel trailer on here. Doesn't tell you what kind of travel trailer.
Oh man, and look at that price.
At 39 cents a mile.
That blows.
You get to drive the 2,500 with the travel trailer behind it.
Yes, sir.
I mean, come on now.
Well, you know what's cool? Here's what's really great about the deal is that when you get there, you sell your business.
Yes. I always call them to verify. What is the delivery address it's going to?
Yeah, there's still a bunch of 30 centers on here. I mean, I know that the big car haulers are probably doing it for this rate, the 35 centers and stuff like that, 39 centers, but
I don't know.
Right now, you have negotiation.
Well, and that's why these red loads are why there are 60,000+ loads. Because, right, if you take
oh my God,
60,000 loads, if half of them are red loads, what do we got?
Well, yeah, look, okay, so it says Seattle, but it's really in West Sacramento, California. Okay, that's nowhere close.
See?
Seattle is nowhere close.
Don't encourage him.
That's just insane.
Yeah, pretty soon it'll be, I mean, who knows? There are no rules. Come on, this is auto transport.
Look at them. They're back to back. So really picks up in Silverdale, really delivers in Ocala. I mean, Orlando and Ocala ain't far apart, but Seattle
picks up in Iowa, delivers, actually.
Yeah, look at this one right underneath it. Really delivers in Alabama.
Oh, Ford Mustang, actually
here we have
an
a
RV.
boat that needs a trailer. Yeah. Here's a boat.
We need a trailer for it,
though.
Actually a broken
wants
boat.
To move a boat.
Oh, it is so funny.
That's crazy.
So that's why as the transporter, when you show up, you say, actually, I don't have a trailer. I just booked it. I'm going to be driving. Actually, I'm going to be driving. Actually, I'm going to be living in it. That'd be the name of what's the name of your transport company? Actually, I'm going to be living in it. LLC.
Wow. Look at this. Really? They want an enclosed trailer for 23 cents a mile. That kind of shit pisses me off.
Oh my God. It's
a Harley Davidson.
But
2020.
It's less wheels, less metal, less on the price. LLC. Wow.
Because you're just going to throw that Harley Davidson up in a corner.
Yeah.
And
just shove it in a corner.
So I can take it for 23 cents a mile. Whatever.
That is hilarious. Right. Because then when you deliver it, and you're pulling metal out of the corner of your trailer.
Yeah.
The guy delivers
Sorry,
like, but I was
scratched up.
promised, it'd be
It'd be in
overnight,
pristine condition.
packed in bubbles.
Yeah, overnight. Yeah. It's always overnight, isn't it? Yes, I can drive 3,000 miles in one day. No
I got
problem.
my groceries out of the sky. Where's my?
All right, so let's look out of Florida. I want to do Florida.
Yeah.
So let's just do Florida to all, and I'm going to put a minimum amount of money on here. Let's do $400, and let's do what, 60 cents a mile. Let's see what happens. Okay, 2,022 loads. That's crazy.
Wow.
Are you seeing this? This is crazy.
Wow.
That tells you that tells you everything right there. It's like when you go to Florida or you go to California and you see this kind of stuff, that tells you right there that the rates are super high and there's too many loads on the board.
What was your search?
That never happens.
Well,
I just put Florida to all with a minimum of $400 at 60 cents a mile, and I have 2,022 loads.
Wow. That is amazing. I love it.
Yeah. 83 cents a mile, 60 cents a mile, 74 cents a mile, $1.18 a mile, 76 cents a mile. Here's 3 SUVs out of Tampa for $1,300 for 73 cents a mile.
Wow.
You don't see that kind of stuff.
No, you don't. Wow. Look at all the green, new, fresh loads. That's amazing.
Loads.
It's like being at the farmer's market early on a beautiful Saturday morning, and there's just, fruit and flowers galore. Really, Jay?
This is crazy. I was just talking the other day. I said, we could go to Florida because I know the loads are high because I can't get any of my cars moved. But I couldn't find any good loads to go to Florida with. So I was like, no, I'm not doing it.
So who's having trouble?
Crap.
Who's having trouble finding good rates right now? If you're having trouble finding good loads right now at good rates, we really want to know. We still got another 20 minutes, and we want to search and help you. We also need to search. John wants to look at in and out of D.C. D.C.'s his area. I would draw a small circle. Don't do D.C. to all. We'll do that here in a minute, John. But this Florida stuff, this is wild. This really is.
This is crazy. We're still going.
And that guy, poor guy with the school bus. That school bus is going to be there forever.
Long time.
Yeah, dude.
I mean, even inside the state, they're paying really well. And I mean, you usually see that either. Like 88 cents a mile.
Oh, I know, right? Yeah, exactly.
To go 370 miles. I mean, because I know these brokers that are listening to stuff are freaking out because they don't usually listen for that kind of
The
money.
brokers are freaking out right now. They really are. That's wild. You can see it. It's palpable. Right now, if you're posting actual pickup and actual delivery and you're totally fibbing on the states, you got a problem.
Uh-huh.
And I'm glad you do. Because that's wrong, man. Don't do that. 253 loads leaving Idaho. Mississauga.
Yeah.
Great. If Idaho's booming, it's interesting. About 500 to 800 miles from D.C. Great.
Okay.
But
we'll do that one.
Yeah, we'll do that in a minute. Ooh, look at that. Lakeland to Columbus. Manhattan Auto Transport
Yeah, did you see that? That's
actually
okay.
Pretty
So,
good.
and Manhattan Auto Transfer has a certain rule with hauling for them.
What is it?
They do not take phone calls at all. You have to email them to that email address, and then you have to send them like all your information and all the stuff. They do not hold loads, but you have to do that way. They're very particular about who they will let haul for them.
Yeah,
I will tell you that.
Mm-hmm.
But that's actually a good paying load if you were in Florida, man, and a 4-pack just to get out. Now, Columbus, Georgia is about 100 miles from Atlanta area, I think, something like that.
South,
that sound about right? Something like that.
I think so. It's probably between
and you will probably get loaded out of Columbus, Georgia. You'll have to load. Oh, look, they have a 5th one here too.
Yeah, you might have to.
You'll have to load out of Atlanta. I guarantee you that.
Albany. It's halfway between Atlanta and Albany. Had a driver out of Albany, Georgia.
Look, $500 from Miami to Roswell, Georgia. $400 from Melbourne. I mean, these are good rates. Usually this is $300.
Totally. Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is wild, man. Are you guys seeing this? This is why nobody needs a search. It's got to be. I love it. I love how boring this show has gotten. Idaho's gold if you have the proper equipment. It's true.
True. Wow. I mean, you could pretty much go anywhere out of Florida right now and get good money. I mean, honestly. Wholesale has one to Topeka for 80 cents a mile out of Tampa. That's wow.
So, how long do you think this will last?
Well, I don't want to say that because then we'll have to
right?
knock on wood because good God, we might turn around and it's all gone the next day.
We always
last
that's
time
one.
It lasted for 3 months.
Okay, 3 months. Last time, what was it? How long? What were the months? Do you remember?
I think we started. Maybe it started in April because I mean, COVID really went wild in what was it, March?
Yep.
And
April.
April
was.
I didn't even have.
April was
when it came back. It was April and May.
Well, March is when COVID hit. April is when it felt like the tornado had touched down. Like things went nuts.
Okay, so
April.
then May.
Okay, so then May. Okay,
And
interesting.
then May we ran into what was it, September, and it started slowing down, and then between September and Christmas we got down to normal like loads. Like we were in the 20
even then
range,
it wasn't like this. It wasn't like this.
No.
This
we had like 76,000 loads on the board, didn't we?
Oh.
We need to go back and check.
Yeah, we do need to go back and check.
I think so. We had a ton of loads.
Interesting.
But it took that long, and I think we kept going down in stages. Like 1 week it was 30, next week it was 25, and I mean it just kept slowly getting lower.
Yes, exactly. It was a gradual decrease.
In
yeah. Well, this is the kind of historical data that I think there's many types of historical data that we could know about, that we could share, discuss, and I don't see it anywhere.
Yeah.
I don't see it anywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, where is it? Because an algorithm can be written to measure anything. Where are the algorithms? Why is all this such a secret? I don't understand. I really don't get it. Let's search for John Cochran. We're in the last 10 minutes here. Let's search for John Cochran. And before we do, and I know you're doing maybe a phone call or something. We are going to do one of my favorite segments of Dispatching Live. We're going to do so while Sue is pulling up D.C., 500 to 800 miles in and out of D.C., that kind of thing, I'm going to, here we go.
I'm going to do that. I'm just seeing how many actual new leads are out of Florida right now.
Muggle problems.
Okay. Wow.
Okay,
so
here we go.
It's 250
Here's the problem.
loads is what I'm going to guess.
This is an actual dispatching problem.
Okay.
Oh, I think I've done this one before. I'm gonna do another. I think I've done that one. I don't know how that's possible, but new problem, actual problem. This is a true problem. If the load pays really good, it's nearly impossible to get the person on the phone that can dispatch it.
True that.
True that.
I'm
That is
with
a
ya.
true. That is a true problem.
I will give you. Here's my story. There's a Ford Expedition out of Cleveland, Ohio yesterday, paying $1,150 going to Atlanta. Of course, I want this car. We called all day long, and this guy would not call us back. We went around him. We went in through the dealership. We asked for voicemail. We did everything. He finally called at the end of the day, and he had not given it away, and we actually got the load.
Oh my gosh!
That doesn't even happen.
That's almost
Usually it's like, oh, I should have pulled it off days ago.
exactly. Wow, you must have been freaking out. That's so cool, man.
Yeah.
Because that's kind of the post and run. Except, yeah, you never get it. That is
Absolutely.
really funny. Well, obviously, as
Yeah.
you go on to the next one, but that's the thing, is when you see that, you see the gold stuck in the side of the hill, you've blown the dynamite
Yeah.
out, you're like, give me, I see the gold, give me the... all right, let's take a search for John Cochran here. We're going to shake up the dice. Although, I tell you, it's not like normal.
So-
I feel like I got a pretty good chance of getting some good dice here. Yeah, what are we going to do?
I'm just going to run it. I think I'm going to just run it to all because I know he wants an
Okay.
800, 900 mile radius, but I can't really do that.
I know.
So let's do a minimum total pay of at least, well, let's put 400 on here. And let's put, what do you want? Like maybe 75 cents a mile, 80 cents a mile? We want good money, right? We're looking for good money. Let's put in 8.
We do. Yes, exactly.
Let's
And maybe
look at
we'll
that.
see a lane that we didn't know about.
Right.
Don't let it get to you. And Opti says, exactly. Well, that's another thing.
Wow. Wow.
Oh, here we go.
Look at that. I put in 8 cents a mile. We already got 884 loads on here. That's kind
Wow.
of crazy.
Did you do 100 miles around D.C.?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did 100-mile radius.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna get some stuff up in Delaware and stuff like that. But still,
Yeah.
look at this stuff. I mean, I don't do Rhode Island, but I would do Sandusky for that. Good Lord. All right. So, well, here's one going to Milwaukee out of Newark for a 900, 87 cents a mile. So these, we were doing these loads from Maryland to Atlanta for $350 and $400 a car. Now look at where they're at. That tells you something there too.
I want you to update this search. I want you to do the same. Will you do me a favor? Do the same search, but do 50 miles.
Okay.
Since we've got so much to look at.
I hate it when it does this.
How's that
Wish
new
it would
look?
just Save it.
Hey, Sue. Hey, Sue.
I'm
How's the
still
new
not
look
using
working
it.
for you? Oh, what?
It hasn't changed. They haven't changed anything. I went in to look, and there's nothing changed. So I'm still not going to use it until they force me into doing it. So-
Wow. Wow. That's so funny.
All right. Now we're going to do we're going to do a 50-mile radius. And we're doing, let's do $500. And let's do, once again, we're going to do 80 cents a mile. Let's see what we got now.
Oh, hey, by the way, we had a guy right before when we I got excited. I made a note. I got an idea. Okay.
Okay, so we're down to 367 with a 50-mile radius. So let's look and see what we got. Still getting some Atlanta.
Hello?
2 good ones for Atlanta right there. But I don't like going all the way up to Finksburg. I don't know about anybody else, but it's a pain. Let's see.
Opti doesn't like the new look either.
Who does? Everybody needs to complain. Complain away, because that's the only way they're going to hear our voices, is if everybody complains to them about the things that are wrong. I've got a list. If anybody wants to email me, I'll send them the list, and you could just copy and paste it and send it to them and say, please change these things.
Hey, hey, let's do a chain letter. Those are popular.
Yeah. Julissa told me, she's one of my dispatchers that lives in New Jersey, and she told me yesterday or today, she's like, okay, so what about this? And complained about, she called a broker dealer, and they had the phone number, in the side says call there. And she keeps calling the number, and the number does not work. And she calls the main number, and the guy goes, I don't have nothing to say to you. You need to call the number on Central. And she's like, hangs up on her. So she calls back, and she says, you're not listening to me. That number does not work. It's I don't know if it's shut off. They put the
She's
wrong
like,
number in there.
I
Whatever.
know. Click.
Yes. And he's like, well, there's nothing I can do for you, and hung up on her again. And she's like, well, what do I do? I said, you're screwed. You can't get the load. I said, all I would do is keep watching to see if they finally change the phone number, because obviously you're dealing with someone who doesn't want to do anything for you. And she goes, well, why can't we complain about this and put ratings about people like that do this? I said, well, they're not allowing us to. They're thinking about allowing us to. And she told me that I needed to be put on the board for Central Dispatch. I said, well, I would love that, but that doesn't happen either. So
Yeah, no, there's not. There's
Oh.
nothing. There's nothing. Let's go back to this. There's nothing you can do. So stop. Just stop already.
Yeah.
Okay.
It
Okay. So
sucks,
yeah, let's
but
keep
it's
searching
true.
for John. We don't have a whole lot of time.
I don't know
Frederick
if
to
where he's
Detroit.
traveling to.
Ooh.
So
Yeah. Let's say. Okay. That's
yeah,
hey.
that's a good one.
That is good, and that's 550 miles. That's in his search. So John,
Look
write
at this.
Detroit. Detroit.
Columbus is good too for $5.05 $1.20 a mile.
Columbus.
Of course, it's in Finksburg again.
Okay.
Yes, Jay, we know
I
what writing
always
looks like.
ran out of that area, Ohio and Michigan. I
Ooh,
always loved
Charleston,
running those
South
areas
Carolina.
out of-
Okay. So yeah, go down 95, turn around in the
But
Carolinas.
you can't get out.
Really?
Austin's one of those places. It
Oh,
is really
you
hard to
said
get
that
out
before,
of.
didn't you?
Yeah,
Sucks.
yeah.
What if you go state by
Looks like
state?
there's
What if you go to
plenty
Virginia? No?
Yeah, you're really far from.
All right, go north. Go north.
It's-
Detroit, Ohio.
I
PA.
love Detroit and I love Ohio. Any
What about
place in
Indiana?
Ohio.
Would you go to
Even
Indiana?
Indianapolis.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like Indianapolis too.
Yes, please.
Because
And you
there's
think that's
several
why-
options in Indianapolis.
Is that why Baltimore to
Hmm?
Carolina's paying good because it's hard to get back? Maybe.
I think it's paying good no matter what, just because
Oh,
the
yeah,
loads
'cause
are so
it's-
crappy. I mean, look
yeah.
at this. We got one going in Nashville for $800. You don't ever see that either. And I love working for caps, but there's no way those are all fitting unless you're a big car hauler and can only take those. But I think that might knock some of them out. But caps will, I believe he'll
Negotiate. Split.
let you, yeah, well, he'll let you take 2 or 3 or something like that too.
Smart.
Let's
That's
see.
what it takes.
Look at this one. Okay,
Mhm.
here's our mix.
No.
But that's a good load as long as they're not all 2500s.
No. Mix. Hey.
Oh,
Ba-da-da-da-da-da-da. We have a winner.
Look at this. Here's one from Chantilly to Atlanta for 700. $1.06 a mile. I like working with JS. Just so you know, JS though does a 30-day pay or they do a 5% quick pay. That's my only complaint I would say about that. They didn't used to do a percentage.
30-day
for
pay
quick
really feels long, doesn't it? I mean, it's like
Yes. Because it's never really
Man.
30 days.
Oh,
You
no.
got mail time on top of that.
it's
so.
30. If you could argue, it's 30 business days from the time we acknowledge that we
Mhm.
received your invoice.
Right.
That
So you
could be
always have to
60.
make sure that they get your paperwork too.
Yeah.
That's the trick too
And-
with
and this-
accounting on some of these companies. It doesn't start until you verify that they got that
Exactly.
paperwork. It doesn't matter if you dropped on its third day.
This is not a comment about that company, but I've heard this
No, just in
argued.
general.
I've had an argument with an accounting
Mhm.
person about this very topic, and they said what I just said, and I'm like,
Right.
that's. And then they're like, well, check the
Yeah.
small print. It's on
I don't
page
like
5
it.
in the middle by the smiley dog.
Wow. Look at these ones going. Of course, this is a double broker deal going here. I guarantee you this is the same car, by the way. But still, $1,200 from Sterling to Dallas. You don't see that kind of stuff.
Wow.
It's more like they're lucky
and it's
six.
COD. That's a great load. Sterling, I think
Yeah.
there's dealerships there or maybe an auction, but anyways, there's
Odessa Sterling usually, but
Okay.
that doesn't mean anything.
That is
so.
great. No, that's a good area to pick up because here's the thing about DC. You don't really want to pick up inside DC.
No, you want on the outside.
You want to be on
Yeah.
the outside. Have them drive it out. We're gonna. Listen,
'Cause
oh, go ahead.
look at that.
I was just
What
saying.
the
Okay, so
heck
here's
is-
the thing. We had a guy ask this question. I didn't know the answer because we only got a couple more minutes
Oh.
left, but I think we're in good shape. John's in good
Oh,
shape right now.
right
And
there.
this is, by the way,
Yeah.
this is high season. So again, I know I've been flashing money all day, but if you're just joining now, I'm gonna flash some money because the point is, if you're making good money, if you're making crazy dollars, the money's falling from the sky with your groceries, it could be temporary. So don't be thinking
Yes.
this is every day. It's not every day.
Right.
It's just not every day.
No,
No.
no.
Bro. So the question was, if I'm setting up load notifications, can I add an additional email in addition to the default? Do you know what he means?
So I'm assuming he's paying for that extra
Yes, I
thing
think
on
so.
Central that
Yeah.
shoots you. I don't know. I bet you can't, just because
Right, I bet you
that
can't.
would make it. I bet
'Cause
you can't, because that would mean more people could see what you're getting,
exactly, because
and
they're
they're
thinking
not going to probably want that.
you're gaming the system, right?
Yes,
Yes, I
yes.
agree with you.
I would say
You
you're
probably
paying
can't.
for an email.
Yes.
Yeah.
That sucks. It's probably true. And I knew you would know, because you know how to set up for load notifications. So do me a favor, check on that. I'm going to send you a link to this guy, put it in the comments. I think it was on our last show or a recent show. So I'm going to send you the link.
Uh-huh.
If you'll
Okay.
if you'll just double check it and reply, I would appreciate that. And on that note, it is 1:31. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Here we go. I am Sunny Ray. Yep, just had to chase a check down. My driver finally received the check after 2 months, and the check bounced, and the account was closed. Oh my gosh. Nightmare.
And now you can't give a negative either.
Oh, that sucks. Oh, and oh my god.
But if they're
amazing.
If they're a broker, go against their broker bond. Go do it now. I bet they're not a broker.
Probably not.
That's what sucks right
That's
there.
what right. But if they are a broker, if you have any questions, listen. If you have any questions, contact. Here's what you want to do. Contact Sue. Sue's like, no, don't do that. Really, actually,
no, you can contact me.
She loves to hear.
Just keep
about
in mind, if I don't answer, it probably went to spam, and I didn't find it. I just want everybody to realize that.
Right. If you don't hear back, you went to
or
spam.
Call me.
Or call it.
Call
Go
the office, 417-273-0021.
Go to the. You can go to her website. Right on.
Yes,
on
and
the
it's
phone.
working now.
It is working. So this is Sue at Murphy Auto Transport Services. She's with me right now. She's my co-host every Thursday. Go to her website. She's a fully licensed broker as well, and she wants to help. We want to help. So we thank you so much for tuning in, sticking with us, asking questions, the search, putting up with the. How many times did I put money on the screen today? It's insane. I'm so excited, right? I have this, and I do this. I kind of like overuse a new prop, but I'm just so excited to finally be competing for views with all the clickbait out there. Thank you all so much for tuning in for another Dispatching Live. We really appreciate it. We'll be beer. Every Thursday at noon for 90 minutes. Tell your friends. Yep. Tomorrow is Cars on the Move at noon, 30 minutes connecting dealers, auctions, and carriers. But more importantly than that, Tuesday night is the Super Spreader. That's the next roundtable. And it's going to be off the hook. Please join us for the Super Spreader. If you're growing your business, if you're tired of waiting to get started, frustrated with the load boards, you got a problem, you're a dealer, you're a broker, you're a dispatcher, join us for the Super Spreader. All you got to do, send me an email, autotransportintel@gmail.com. Talk to Ty. You can call him. You can text him. It's 417-483-2764. And what you're doing is we're having a Zoom meeting with all kinds of folks, and we're going to go around, say hello, and talk about what's working, what's not working. And you can just listen. You don't have to talk at all. You don't even have to join the meeting. Just be sure to join the show. That's Tuesday night on Tuesday Nights Live. That's April 13th. Sue and everybody, thank you so much for taking the time.
No problem. No problem.
This was an interesting episode. Wouldn't you say?
Yeah. Yeah, it's considering the craziness of the loads on here. Absolutely.
Fascinating. Yes, the load searches were
Yeah.
absolutely fascinating. This was an amazing show. Again, thanks to everybody
Yeah.
saying hello in the live chat. Please do keep us posted. Let us know how we can help. If you missed it live, put it in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Stay safe, and we'll see you soon. Peace out, everybody.